Hey guys, my name is Preeti and today's video is going to be a comparison video between all the at-home salon services that are available in Bangalore. I got my services done from three service providers: Glam, Glam and AtHomeDiva. So I'm just going to compare how my experience was with these three, and let's try and see which one felt the best. This is not a sponsored video. This all the services that I got done were from my own money, my own research. I chose the service and all of that. I've tried to keep the services pretty much same in all the three so that we can get a good comparison, and the amount of the total value of the service also I've tried to keep it at the same amount, around 700-800 rupees. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Get. Oh, mind you, this video is going to be a little long because I am going to be talking about all three. I don't really have footage because I wasn't comfortable shooting, when she was waxing and all of that. So if you just want some pointers or anything, you can leave a comment and I'll try to answer your specific query. But otherwise I would suggest that you just go through the video, because if you are someone who is planning to take such a service at home, it's better you have an idea at least. First service provider that I went with was Get. The total amount of services that I got from them was for rupees 765. So I chose waxing, underarms and half legs. This came up to 278 rupees. Threading, upper lip and eyebrows for 88 rupees, and pedicure for 399 rupees. So overall, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. The pros, I've written everything down because these services I had taken in a span of at least 6-7 months, because I don't really do all this every month. It's just when I need them. So over a span of 6-7 months, whenever I took the service, I've just made notes of it. Let's talk about the pros and cons for Get. We'll go with the pros first. The first point was clean. The lady who came in, she herself looked really clean and hygienic and all of that, and she laid out all the equipments, and she did put a sheet of sort of like a cover on the floor and on the place where we were going to be doing the services, and she brought all equipments with her. There was nothing that I had to give her a bucket or a mug or anything like that. She got everything all by herself, and she had really great manners. She used VLCC brand sachets, which I think was a really good, because in one of the other service providers I noticed they just got a common tube and a bottle and whatever, and I'm pretty sure it's been used on many other people, and I'm sure there's going to be some amount of hygiene lapse, if I may say that. So she had sachets, which is really good because now I know it's been opened only for me and it's going to be thrown once it's been used on me. The fifth point is she had, when you go to a nice salon, they do a spray before the wax, and then once the waxing is done, then they spray an astringent or a soothing lotion or something like that. She did that as well. The overall experience was really comfortable. The wax was not very hot, and it just felt really nice. I felt like I was pampered at home. So now let's come to the cons of this. The waxing was not good. I mean, it was comfortable, the wax was not hot, but she missed out a lot of areas which at that time even I couldn't find, because especially the back of the legs and all of that you can't really see. But when, as a person who is waxing, you would know which are the places you need to look out for, which are the places you missed, right? There is a technique, a method, a couple of steps that you follow, that you start from here so that you get each and every section. So I'm sure she missed out. I'm sure she didn't apply wax in certain areas, because within the next few days I could see hair growth there, which was quite a lot. It's not possible that in 2 days I would get so much hair if it was waxed off. The con that I faced was the pedicure was really painful. Now pedicure is something that I've always had a love-hate relationship with, especially when they're poking and trimming and all of that, because most of the times I end up with some or the other kind of a cut there. So that was pedicure, I would say, was very painful. She was poking around, I kept flinching and I kept telling her to go slow. I've had pedicures in like good salons and they are never painful. So that's the pedicure story. The third part is that I don't know how much these guys, sanitize the products they use on the feet for the pedicure. In salons, I know they have this UV disinfectant kind of machine. I'm not sure whether these guys do it, because once they leave the office, I am not sure if they go back to the office or then they carry on to the next appointment. From what I asked her, what she told me was she has to go back to the office and report and then go to the next one. I hope that's the case, and then they have enough time to disinfect the tools that they used for pedicure. If not, this is very, very bad. Really hope so. The fourth con for Get Look service was that they did not have a really great collection of nail polish. It was either old dried nail polish or some really dark tacky colors, and it was some random brand. I did not know what brand it was. I mean, you could see the packaging and you know this is like the 20 rupee nail polish that you get in those local cheap stores. The fifth point regarding the cons of Get Look was that the threading was painful. I do have sensitive skin, and my skin, I usually get cuts over here and here and here, which is quite normal, and I don't really make a fuss about it. But sometimes when the cut is too severe, it's bad because it defeats the purpose of grooming, right? And then you have this big black mark right across your face. So that was painful, and I did have some cuts here and here. So that was my experience with Get Look. Now let's move on to My Glam. So from My Glam, my total service value was 625. So the actual amount was 735 rupees, and I had some My Glam points, so I got a discount of rupees 110. So my order value came down to 625. So the services that I took from them was waxing, underarms and full legs. So this was 265 plus 60. Pedicure was 350 and threading, upper lip and eyebrows was for 60. So my experience with My Glam was very similar to Get Look. The lady who's going to do the services had brought all the equipments with her. I really didn't have to worry about that. So, but the pros are pretty much similar to Get Look, so I won't repeat them. I'll only state the things that I felt were different. First of all, the waxing was really painful. I kept telling her that the wax is really hot, and she just was going everywhere in all directions. She did not have a technique which you're usually supposed to follow when you're waxing legs. You can't just go everywhere. So that is one really bad experience that I had. And hygiene wise, I felt they lacked a lot because there was wax everywhere. She was in such a hurry to finish this session and just go, that she would just swipe the wax on my leg and then just flip the knife back and just keep it on the table, because of which a lot of wax was flying around, and there was wax on even though I didn't opt for waxing on my hands, I still had wax on my hands because it was flying everywhere. And all the strips that she was using, she was just keeping it on some plastic cover that she'd got, but it kept moving and it was very icky and very, very unclean. The threading hurt a lot, again, because I do have sensitive skin, and I do declare to them that, I have sensitive skin, so please be a little careful. Tell me if you want me to pull or tug or whatever. And I'm not really fuzzy about this because I do get cuts quite a lot, so I don't really complain about it. But when it's really bad, I do make it a point, because it's not acceptable. If you're not trained enough, you shouldn't be doing it. Last point is that she was not using sachets on the pedicure. She just had a universal dabba for all the cream and all the scrubs and everything. So she was just dipping her hand and just removing whatever she wanted, which I felt was really unhygienic, guys. I mean, come on, just sachets, right? So that was my experience with My Glam. probably would never, among the three, would never choose my Glam. So I mean, we'll get to that, the final conclusion and everything. So the last service provider that I went with for at-home salon service was AtHomeDiva. The total order amount of the services that I took was 700 rupees. This was for pedicure, manicure and threading. I'm sure you guys are aware, when AtHomeDiva first came out, they had this inaugural offer where pedicure and manicure was done for 600 rupees. So I took that offer and added threading to that, and the whole thing came up to 700 rupees. Coming to the pros of AtHomeDiva, everything was really clean and she was surprisingly on time. It was almost as if she was waiting outside the door half an hour earlier, and when the clock strikes 11 o'clock, she would just ring the bell. With the others, there was obviously this 30-minute up and down, 15-30-minute delay, but AtHomeDiva, she was on time. And in Bangalore traffic, if you're on time somewhere, that is commendable. It does, I mean, you have to appreciate that. The service overall was really good. She had all the equipments with her. She was well trained. She was hygienic. She wasn't talking too much or asking me unnecessary questions or commenting unnecessary things on my body. So I really like that about AtHomeDiva's stylists and service providers. They use sachets, which again is my favorite thing when somebody uses clean, hygienic products and tools. So overall, my experience with AtHomeDiva was really, really nice. Let's come to the cons of AtHomeDiva. Her pedicure machine was not working, so I had to give her hot water. It was not that it was not working. She said since the machine is a little old, it's going to take some time for the water to heat up. So she said it would be better if I could give her hot water, which means I had to put on the geyser and wait for the water to become hot and then give it to her, which was slightly unnecessary. No, but you don't want to do work when you want to get pampered, right? So that was a little bit of a downer for me. One thing that I was surprised, I don't know whether she ran out of hot water or whether she wasn't aware that that isn't the way to do it. Once the pedicure was done, she used cold water to wash my feet, which was weird. I didn't realize it until it happened that, oh my god, this is cold water, and you don't want that, right? Pedicure is all about like hot water and relaxing and all of that. That was a little out of the blue, but I mean, yeah, that was sort of unnecessary, I would say. Overall, if I had to choose between Get Look, My Glam and AtHomeDiva, I would definitely say AtHomeDiva was my best experience, because especially the foot massage that you get at the end of the pedicure was really relaxing. Usually service providers are in a hurry to just finish it off and then go. They hardly spend 2-3 minutes giving you that massage, but she took her own time. She gave me a really nice massage, and the threading was really good. I mean, I did not have any cuts, which is really surprising because I always have at least one small cut. I did not have any cuts, and it was really efficiently done. In terms of hygiene, cleanliness and the overall just the feel of it, I felt AtHomeDiva was the best. In these three experiences, AtHomeDiva was my go-to choice.